Tigers Talk, we are back. Well, I'm back. I did think I'd see my friend to the right-hand side here. Gavin Payne reunion last weekend, mate. How was it?
Mate, wonderful. Really good to catch up with all those old boys after haven't seen a lot of them for 35, 40 years, so wonderful.
So you behave?
Yes.
I beg to differ. Check this photo out here. This is Gavin Payne getting home early on Sunday morning. Explain yourself. Mate, you reckon that's bad? Have a look at me when I got home from my 1982 reunion last year. All right, all done and dusted. Unfortunately, though, Gav, didn't get the results.
No. We came down, obviously, and watched the game as part of the reunion. The Tigers were behind quite substantially early. Looked good through the middle part of the second half, but then just fell short at the end. So, but, not kicking stones at the moment.
Colts stay undefeated.
Brilliant. Really going well at Colts. Saw a few of those part of that game as well. Looking real good.
All right, we caught up with the Colt, you and I both.
I caught up with Gabriel Reedy-Bartlett. Lovely guy. He's got a nice story to tell as well.
Mm-hmm. And I caught up with Glen, the flying winger there for the Colts as well. So making every post a winner. Let's check out the two boys here for the future of the club.
Welcome back to Tigers Talk. I'm with Gabriel Reedy-Bartlett. Mate, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So, first up, obviously, I usually ask you're with the Colts squad, obviously.
Yeah.
I usually ask the young fellas exactly how they got here, where they've come from and so forth. So give us a little bit of your history to get to the Tigers.
Well, I started in Melbourne, born and raised in Melbourne, and all my footy's been down there. But I actually had my older brother, Jacob Reedy-Bartlett, that came up, I think, 2021. And he was really enjoying it up here. And he said, mate, if you want to have a different scene, have a team that will look after you, come up and we'll see how it goes. So I was like, yeah, sweet. Gave it a bit of thought and I was like, I may as well. I've done all my footy in Melbourne. Let's go do something different, eh? So, moved up here January last year.
Yep.
And, loved it ever since.
The Colts are travelling along really well.
Yeah.
We were just chatting about that off mic. You're worried about the first loss coming along, but so far undefeated. It's a really good start to the season.
Yeah. Mate, honestly, so happy with the boys, and just you can see it on their faces at every training that they love being here, rocking up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then game day. But a bit worried for a first loss, but it comes with footy, but we'd rather keep that undefeated streak going.
Do they love Gliddon's halftime talks?
Well, it's getting better. It's getting better and better. Sprays are chilling down a little bit.
Good.
Since the streak's been going, but they're getting used to it.
Just on the team, I understand that there's a few big, fun personality type people in there. Tell us a little bit about some of those characters.
Well, most people, if you ask them, would say Jordan Plath.
Yeah.
That bloke, honestly, he's a short stature, but the chat on him, honestly, is just, it's out the gate. And you think he's going to be relaxed, chilled, and then out of nowhere, he's just coming up with all this stuff. Even big boy Jordan Banquet.
Yep.
Pest and a half, that bloke. Holy. Even our captain, Simon Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's our captain, but he's got a big personality on him too.
Very well. You've got a little bit of an unusual nickname. You're pretty big build, but I hear they call you Bubba. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really know, Like, people will ask, is it because I'm the youngest sibling, but I'm actually the second eldest out of 7.
Okay, it's a big family.
Yeah, but I guess, you call your kids Bubba or whatever.
Yeah.
And I carried a pretty baby face all through my career, all my life. So I guess Bubba just stuck because Babyface and Bubba.
It did. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. And then, when I introduce myself as Bubba, I get that second glance like, you don't really look like a Bubba to me. But honestly, I couldn't give you an answer. I wish I could.
The squad's travelling on very well. Obviously, the Colts are going really well. You're travelling on quite well as well. What do you feel you bring to the table in the games? What are your strengths?
Right now, I'm just trying to focus on the aggression part, Like we always spoke about, we want to be ruthless. We want to stay connected. But just, especially coming off the bench, I want to try to keep the energy that Madison Beckett and Casey Morgan are carrying through, because those two, mate, their season, especially Morgan, holy, this kid, those two just amazing. So, yeah, for me, it's just to keep the energy up, keep the boys going, but bring that little bit more, have that fresh legs on there. So, yeah, just trying to be aggressive, ruthless, and keep the boys up.
The game on the weekend was a top of the table clash. Obviously, going into that match was 2 undefeated teams. Yep. Only one came out undefeated. I believe I didn't see the whole game. I saw probably the second half, but you were behind there a little bit. So, what was the catalyst? Maybe you coming on is the catalyst for them to kick on again, eh?
Yeah, no, it just shows that, you know, we both deserve to be at those 1 and 2. But I don't think the first try was scored until the 20th minute or 20-something minute.
Yep.
So it just shows that, yeah, like Redcliffe is always going to be there. They've always been that team. But, you know, proud of the boys for sticking in. Like, there's a couple times where we're defending back-to-back sets or back-to-back on the line, and they stuck through. So, yeah, proud of the boys, man.
Always a tough game against Redcliffe. You come away with the W in the column. You're undefeated to this point in time. Want to wish you all the best for the rest of the season, and thanks for joining us here this afternoon.
Oh, good. Cheers, mate.
Okay, welcome back to Tigers Talk. Talk about speed. My friend to the right here, Glen Fisher, is from the Colts, mate. How are you?
Not too bad yourself.
Good, mate. On the wing, geez, you guys are going all right, aren't you? Your forwards are doing their job, and you guys are making all the hard work look easy out wide.
I wouldn't say the forward would be doing all the work.
Good answer.
Well, yeah, 7 in a row. Hopefully get one this weekend to top it.
Okay. As I said, as a winger, times you're called in to actually do a bit of work on the forwards here, you're running it up. Do you like getting in there? Do you really sort of try and push the forwards out of the way and have a bit of a hit up from dummy half?
Sometimes, but forwards don't listen to. They just keep wanting the ball, but yeah.
Well, they don't listen because they can't hear because they got too much. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Have you always played on the wing?
Fullback and half in my juniors, but
okay.
Yeah, but here, our wing, sorry.
Yep. So where's your junior footy?
Mergen.
Yep.
Played under 8s and 10s at Cherbourg.
Okay.
And just under 16, under 18s at Wynnum.
Okay. So obviously you come over here for the Tigers, so congratulations on that one. Yeah, it has been a big year so far here for the Colts, undefeated so far, Mark Gliddon. How do you go with Gliddon as a coach, mate? He's very player orientated. He takes a lot of players to one side and actually has a nice little chat to you guys. So he's quite passionate with you blokes, isn't he?
Yeah, I met Gliddon when I first come down in 2021 at Wynnum. Yeah, he's pretty good. If you mark up his shit, he'll let you know.
I'm sure he will. But he really can't throw stone because that man was absolutely a menace when he used to play footy as well. Hey, listen, game day ritual, mate. You got any superstitions before you go out in the park?
Just try my best, get at least over 10 to 15 runs.
Okay. Oh, that's a good question, actually. I've never actually asked the player this. When do you want to get your hands on the ball? I mean, obviously there's a kick-off there. Do you actually try and get a run up in the first set of 6, or do you sort of sit back and wait for the fireworks to settle down?
Yeah, gotta wait.
Yep.
Just probably when we do backline or when they do 5th and last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fullback, wing or half, where do you prefer? Because Gliddon does listen to the show and he does take it on board.
Fullback.
Fullback, Gliddon. Right, so there you go. Don't mind whether left or right wing, doesn't matter?
Yeah, nah.
Doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to have a crack in the forwards, mate? Would you like to show them how it's done?
In the forward, you say?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, fair enough. Listen, away from footy, what do you like to do?
Spend time with family.
Yeah. You played any other sport in the summer at all?
No.
Take it easy?
Just take it easy, yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time, mate?
Hopefully on TV, playing another role.
Beautiful. That's great to have a goal there. So there's no reason why you can't do it. Is this your last year in Colts? You got one more year to go?
1 more year.
1 more year to go next year?
Yeah.
In Colts? Outstanding, mate. So you should make every post one. Falcons this weekend. What do you know about them? They're lower in the ladder here. You don't want to get the hard work done last week and fall short against the Falcons. Looking forward to this?
Yeah, that's our plan to come up short and then don't take them easy.
All right, fantastic. And one thing I want to ask you about, is there any anything you'd like to say in the huddle at halftime? Do the backs have any say in what's happening out in the middle?
Nah, just mainly the half and other halves, fullback and the captains.
All right,
Yeah.
Beautiful. Have you ever captained the side?
No.
You want
Too much talking.
to? Genius, that's it. And if it all goes wrong, you can't get blamed, so you're better off staying out there. Yeah. All right, listen, mate, all the best. Congratulations on the season so far. Hopefully injury-free. You've only lost, you were out for one game because of an injury. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. You're 100% ready to go.
Yeah.
How many tries you got so far this year?
I think 4 or 5.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's get to double figures. What do you reckon?
Yeah, hopefully.
Against the Falcons. Let's start that with a double this weekend. All right, check Fishy out there on the weekend, and hopefully he goes along and goes out the trial line a few more times. Thanks for your time on Tigers Talk, mate. Wish you all the best of the season. All right, mate, things are looking good for the side, but your drive is showing your putt today. So obviously at the back end of the season, but so far so good for Gliddon and the boys.
Yeah, look, you can only win games and continually look to improve, and that's we talked about that as well. You got to be looking to improve all the time because the other teams certainly will. So combinations, hopefully injury free is a big thing as well. So, but so far so good.
You spoke to Colts coach.
Yeah, Gliddon. Yeah, he's got some interesting observations about the season. Goes about it in quite a calm manner, apparently, from talking to a few of the boys. So different to what you understand Gliddon to be. So
who was he? Yeah, what a liar. Anyway, let's see how we go. And I caught up with it. Just been appointed assistant coach for the Tigers under Matthew Church. There is no one other than Michael Lambert. As I said, some say he might have slept his way to the top here, but it's not true. It's actually on a pure talent with Lambo. So congratulations on that. So here are the two coaches, Michael Lambert and Mark Gliddon.
Welcome back to Tigers Talk. I'm here with Super Coach, Colts coach, I should say, Mark Gliddon. Gliddo, obviously travelling along really well. From the early days when the pre-season, did you envisage that you would be perhaps travelling along this well?
No, not at all. It's funny you say that. It was my third year here, and in previous years we had two really strong squads, and we sort of, to be fair, we struggled a bit in the pre-season with cohesion. It was a long pre-season, and one night it just all fell together. We did a post session against Churchy's team, the Queensland Cup side, and everything fell into place. And I said to Simon Pratt, our captain, after training, I said, "Where'd that come from?" And he said, "I don't know." And we've been good ever since. So it was quite strange, to be honest. So
not putting the jinx on you, but what are you talking to the boys about now? Like, how do you keep their motivation up and so forth to keep on this streak?
Oh, look, it's not so much about keeping on this streak. It's just about being consistent. Yep. At the moment, we're playing some reasonably good footy. We're quite resilient. In particular, on the weekend, I thought we defended really well for long periods of time when we didn't have a lot of footy. But, I'm going to not rip into them tonight. I'm a bit disappointed. I thought we were really poor Monday night in the gym. Our work ethic was poor. Yeah. I think a few blokes have fallen in love with themselves a little bit. So they're going to be in for a rude awakening tonight when I have a little chat with them. So.
Well, mate, that's important as well because you need to bring them down to earth at different times, don't you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, most definitely.
I had a chat with Gabriel before. Nice young lad. He's quite confident and comfortable with his position in the squad. So how did that squad come together, mate? Like from all over the place, a lot of new boys to the club.
Yeah, look, from my first year here, I think we have 3 players left. What's Lachlan West, Harry Farmabello, Jordan Penquet. There could be one more, Simon Pratt. So there's not too many. But 3 of them boys played a fair bit over the last 3 years. A lot of them haven't played much Colts. So we had to recruit, and we've looked, far and wide. We've got kids from Inverell. We've got kids from Yeppoon. We've got kids from Mackay. Yeah. So what we've done from a club perspective, we put some talent scouts in place in different areas around the state, New South Wales country, Mawulunbar, all that sort of area. Yeah. And they've been really good.
Yeah,
and,
obviously.
And then we go to the Storm and say, this is a kid we're looking at. And Geordie Bunn from the Storm gets back to me with some feedback and he says, yeah, they're really good or no, they're average or whatever it may be. And that's how we go about it. So,
mate, Gabriel mentioned that your halftime talks are pretty cool and calm and everything, mate. Would that be right?
Depends on the circumstances. And Gabriel, I call him Bubba. That's his nickname, Bubba. He's the Bubba of the family. So when he plays good football, we call him Bubba. When he doesn't, we call him Gabriel. So... look, I don't know. Look, it depends on the circumstances. Yelling and screaming doesn't really get anywhere other than making me feel better and making them feel horrible. So, look, we haven't been in a position where I've probably had to yell and scream. No doubt that time will come. Hopefully it doesn't come in the next couple of weeks. Yep. But I'd prefer to think at halftime, I'd like to think that, I find out where the problem is and then how do we fix the problem.
You're right, mate. The coaches that yell and scream at half time consistently, eventually it just falls on deaf ears and no one's listening anyway. So
100%. I yell and scream in the coaching box when no one can hear me. So.
Mate, during your playing days, obviously, I'm not sure whether you had any pre-game superstitions, but has any of that carried over? Do you have any traits that you do before and after games?
I tend to wear the same thing I wore the week before if we won. So I've had the same shoes on for 7 weeks now. When we lose, well, then I'll change them.
Same jocks?
I wouldn't have a clue about jocks.
Hope you wash them.
Well, mate, you talk to my wife about that one.
Mate, we always talk about. I generally finish a lot of these interviews with a simple question. We had a bit of a chat with Gabriel, as I said, about this as well. So, the biggest pest in the squad.
Oh, in our squad, that's a pretty simple one, is Jordan Plath. Most people would know John Plath, the former Broncos great. Well, his son Jordan plays here. He hasn't played a lot of Colts this year. I think he's played 3 games. He's an out-and-out pest in every way, shape or form. He's just annoying. He's a good kid. He means well, but he just can't help himself. He's just a pest.
I didn't know John. I assume he was a pest as well. So
John was a pest. Uncle Stephen was a pest. Dad Stan, he was probably a pest in his time. So
apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
100%.
Thanks very much for joining us, Gliddon, and all the best for the rest of the season, mate.
Thanks, Payne.
Cheers,
Really
mate.
appreciate it.
All right, Tigers Talk. This gentleman to my right, I've known him for quite a few years, Michael Lambert. He's now the new assistant coach with Hetty. Mate, listen, big news. Congratulations. Hard work pays off, my friend.
Yeah, it does. It's a good opportunity with Churchy that he's given me, and I'm going to take it with both hands and do the job to the best of my ability.
You didn't, obviously, you played you were the coach in the BRL competition. Last time you were here, unfortunately, you went down to Wynnum Manly in that semi-final here. We don't want to go back in the past there.
Yeah, heartbreaker.
It was indeed, but it was a great season for the Bulimba Bulldogs. And that was obviously what the research done by Matty Head, and obviously getting some references from those coaching days that got you where you are now as assistant coach.
Yeah, so I did 3 years at Bulimba in the affiliate system, in the BRL role there, and then come up here and did the Melbourne Inga role here, and with co-coach with Adam Camboris. We didn't get the results that we wanted, but obviously Churchy seen something that he liked there, and has taken me on when a position come available within his squad. So yeah, I mean, I'm stoked about it.
Mate, you know all the skills and all that sort of stuff, drills and all that. But for what I found from Michael Lambert over the years that I've known you, mate, he's actually very player focused. How did you take that from seniors to the kids? Was that a complete role reversal? Did you have to change it up a hell of a lot?
Not massively. There's different challenges with 18-year-old versus men. So men, you might have challenges around relationships at home with their wife, their kids, work or whatever.
Don't bring it down, mate.
Yeah. And with 18-year-olds, generally you have challenges. It might be exams at school, ladies, whatever, but they're just different focus challenges, you know. So yeah, it wasn't too big a difference.
For those who don't know, what's the role of the assistant coach on game day? Obviously, there's a chat beforehand. Are you involved in that pre-game chat, or is that all with Hetty and the skipper?
No, so with my role on game day here with Matty is, so I do the 2-way. So he relay the messages down to me on the sideline, and then I just relay that exactly the way he said it to me in a calm manner to coffee, and then gets onto the field. So yeah, that's my role game day essentially.
It's interesting. So how does it feel to be on the receiving end of a coach's blast to the assistant coach, being a head coach beforehand, obviously you're going down to the sideline?
Honestly, Churchy hasn't blown up once.
Oh, really?
No. So even at halftime, I don't even, in all the halftime speeches I've heard him, he's probably had half a crossword. I've never heard him blow up yet. So, but in saying that, it's easy when you're winning. So he seems a very level-headed, calm fella.
All right. Well, Bulimba obviously flying high, obviously in the BRL competition, and a lot of people are saying that maybe the reason you got head coach is because of your good looks. But see how you go. Assistant coach. To the Brisbane Tigers and then the Melbourne Storm. What involvement have you had with the Storm? Have you getting privy to some of the stuff that comes back from up there?
Only the players, obviously. And one thing I have noticed so far, so in previous years as the BRL head coach, when you had cup players come back to BRL, you notice the difference on game day with their preparation, whether it's rolling, activation, stretching or whatever. And I thought that was a big difference. But then you watch the NRL boys when they come back to Cup, and we've had a few in the last few weeks, and the Storm boys are next level again. Their preparation's on point. They're really methodical about it. So it's a huge difference. Like it's been unreal to see how professional they are on and off the field.
That's easy because they're NRL players. It's expected of them. When you were coach of the BRL A grade, you would have had players coming out of the Intrust Super Cup back or Hostplus Cup back. Were there a few rock kickers, or were they actually just so determined to get back in the Cup that made your job that much easier?
Nah, so we did a thing at Bulimba where we created an environment, whether you're a Cup player or whatever, that you wanted to be at. And we didn't have one bloke come from East in the 3 years that I was down there that honestly was hard to handle or anything like that, because at the end of the day, JB wouldn't cop that, or when he was previously coaching, and Matty Church wouldn't cop that either. So no, we didn't have anyone who kicked stones at all. They were actually a benefit to our club and probably got us to where we were last year because of the 4 Cup boys that we got back most weeks.
Well, Would I be right in saying what I said at the start there? You know all the drills, you know how to play rugby league, but how important is it, and how much of that involvement with player one-on-one stuff that you really enjoy? Is that
it's massive for me. So my whole coaching ethos, and it's very similar to Matty as well. It's very a lot man management focused. If you can have a happy group, you have a good group. It's all about man management, and it doesn't always mean you got to be happy, because you got to have hard conversations. There's no doubting that, but a lot of it's man management and just checking in on guys as well, making sure everything's okay, because everything's not all going to be sort of all gravy every single day of the week.
All right. You mentioned Adam Camburis, mate. He's still playing rugby league. Have you spoken to him about that? He's insane, isn't he?
Mate, I told him when he was coming back that he was silly. I actually thought he was going to play Masters originally. I said, you are 50. But he wants to have a crack at it. And to be honest, Adam's in good shape. He's probably in better shape than what he was when he was playing BRL 2 years ago or 3 years ago, or whatever it was. But he's happy and he wants to go out on his own terms. So he's an idiot, but good luck to him.
But he's a genius, isn't he? When he gets tired, he gets plays up and gets 10 minutes in the bin.
Well, yeah.
So he's a genius. But
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly right. That's what you got to do when you get older. Look, Michael, in all seriousness, as I said, I've known you for quite a few years. Mate, congratulations on the appointment of assistant coach. It's onwards and upwards. Hard work pays off. So whether it's as a player or a coach, and congratulations, mate, and all the best. And so far, just a one loss last weekend, but that's something you learn from those. You learn more from defeat than you do from a win. So no doubt you got the clipboard out and you go on from here, mate. All the best against the Falcons this weekend.
Thank you very much, John.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
All right, talent aplenty. Falcons this weekend. Don't want to drop another one. Hate to go back to back.
Yeah, no. So they've been very good at not doing that, like the Cup boys as well. So that's they're going to have a couple of losses on the way. It was a tough loss against Redcliffe, but it was a tough game as well. So didn't affect them too much on the ladder. But you don't want to have string 2 or 3 losses together in a row. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a good fight for them to come back in the second half. We saw the 2 previous games were only just won by 2 points, which has been enough to sort of drive the coaches there. But they didn't give it away, because 4 and against will be important.
Yeah, mate, you can have those little lulls in seasons as well, but good if you can have lulls and still win games. And then sort of pick it up again towards the back end of the season. So I'm sure that's what they're looking to do.
And hopefully the Colts just keep going strong and hard, and we'll see what happens at the back end. All right, mate, well, listen, congratulations on actually making bail on the weekend, and hopefully your court appearance doesn't cause any more conflict. You and Trumpy going up against the magistrate should be a great week in the papers.
Complete BS, mate, you talk.
That's why they got me here. But anyway, now, congratulations, and it's great to have a reunion. If you're thinking about doing reunions, whatever grade it is, great facilities down here at Tully Workwear Stadium. Now, they've got great facilities, function rooms, all that sort of stuff here. And, and then they do an inventory count too, as you know. So you can't go and steal stuff. See you next week.
Bye.